How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with a little bit of mystery beer, courtesy of my boy Steven. You know it's Steven when it's wrapped like this. So let's dive into this sucker. Mystery beers. If you don't know what they are, that's weird. He sent a bunch off, a bunch of non-mysteries, a bunch of mysteries. This be the last of that bunch. Okie dokie. I did not expect that color to come out. Rarely do you see that color, that kind of red fruit, kind of berry color, come from bottle beer. It's so weird. Now, let's do a little detective work. A little bit of kind of corrosion up on the top of that cap. And there's this little, you can't really see it, but there's a little bit of bubbling on the plastic portion in there. It's usually an indicator of a little bit of time on a beer. Like I said, creepily wrapped. You can kind of see some lettering through this wrapper, but it's nothing to do with the beer, I assure you. So I have no idea what's going on. What does that look like? Looks like fruit beer. I mean, just off the top of my head, trying to guess who would put a beer in a bottle that would end up being this color. Founders, but it's not Founders because it's the shape of the bottle. Bell's, New Glarus. I don't know. Maybe Trillium? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, so what does she look like? Fruit beer, but more specifically something maybe kind of Belgian leaning, Lambic leaning, those kind of beers. Or it could just be one of those new school kind of fruited Berliners. Who knows what's what, but definitely berry vibes from the look. Let's see if we got a nose. It's all berry. It's all berry. There's a soft tartness there. I think this is a kettle sour. If it's not, then it's a soft little kind of mixed culture jam. But it's all about the berries. I'm not going to sit here and kind of just randomly fire off a bunch of different berries. It's in that kind of darker, kind of blackberry, blueberry kind of area of beer. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just, and it's not so much that it's overt fruited sweetness to the berry. It's more of like a stemmy, seedy kind of dirtiness to it. So it's like an organic kind of, all the berries in there. Like they didn't like core it or take the seeds out. They threw everything in there, blended it all up into a puree, put it in a beer. Yeah. In a good way. That probably sounds horrible, but I think it smells awesome. Let's just dive right in. Cheers. That's really good. That's really good. You know who this could be too? I haven't had one of their beers in such a long time. I don't think it's them, but I'm just saying it because immediately when I tasted it, reminded me of one of their old beers, Dieu du Ciel. Dieu du Ciel used to had this one. Oh, I forget what it was. I reviewed it probably about 2 summers ago. Outside, it was an outdoor beer review, and that beer was absolutely fucking fantastic. So, what do we have going on in this beer? I think this is like a fruited wheat beer. This is not a kettle sour. There's a soft tartness to it, but I believe that's attributed solely to the fruit in this beer. The actual beer itself, I believe, is a wheat beer, a wheat-based, Belgian-influenced fruit beer. Not terribly high in ABV, 5.4%. What kind of fruit is in here? It's a blackberry, blueberry mix. Like there's more to it than just that. There might be other things in it outside of your basic kind of fruit. There might be a little bit of kind of, you know, well, that would be fruit, but pomegranate. But I was thinking of even like black currants, something along those lines. But it's heavily fruited, not a sour. Belgian wheat-based 5.4% fruit beer that is a raspberry, blueberry, very similar leading kind of beer. This is fucking fantastic. Yeah, it reminds me of Dieu du Ciel so much. Let's call it. It's Dieu du Ciel beer. It's a Dieu du Ciel, one of their, I forget the name of the beer, Des Fonts. I don't know. I can't remember. It has a girl on it, and she's kind of playing with flowers. And those beautiful labels that Dieu du Ciel is known for. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Belgian influenced wheat fruit beer that is darker fruit, blueberry, blackberry leaning. 5.4%. Druthers. Okay, never heard of these guys before. kind of excited now. This is really good stuff. So whoever the fuck Druthers is, I am a fan. Okay, what do we have here? Against the Current. Oh, called out currants. How about that shit? Ale brewed with fruit and spice. Against the Current is black currants, raspberries, Thai basil. Okay. Combine them beautifully to yield a beer with notes of cherry, licorice, and earthy mint. I didn't really get that much mint off of it. Light in body with a semi-dry finish. By the way, it's purple. Really purple. Albany, New York. Druthers Brewing. Never heard of these guys before. I'm going to have to ask Kyle about these guys. Kyle from No Hype Beer Reviews. He's actually like right on the edge of Albany. So this is 6% alcohol by volume. So what? 0.6 off. Yeah, that's it. They have multiple locations. So Saratoga, Albany, and Schenectady. So these guys, I mean, listen, look at this label. Look at the beer they're making. This place has been around for a while. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could tell this is old school brewery stuff. I'm really, really curious of the age on this. Yeah, whoever drinks this loves DCL. I'm not trying to connect what I believe the beer to be, because I didn't think it was going to be a DCL beer. I just called it out because it had that kind of vibe on it. But if you look on the side here, they do the literal same notching that DCL does on dating their beer. I believe DCL's changed that a little bit. They might have switched to a different format, but that's exactly what they used to do. So whoever drank this drank a lot of DCL and loves it, or ever brewed it, I should say. And it's weird because it just says it has dates on there, but there's no year. It gives me January, February, March. It gives me a March cutout on there, but there's no year to it. So I don't know March when. March this year? I have no idea. This is fantastic. Label's kind of poopy. Not my favorite kind of label in the history of mankind, but it is what it is. But this beer is beyond beautiful. This beer is absolutely fantastic. It's probably one of, we'll get to that in a second, but it's one of the better fruit beers. Probably, it's Mount Rushmore status, let's put it that way, fruit beers. They don't tell you what kind of beer it is. It's definitely a heavily weeded base. I love this beer. I would drink this beer all day long. This is my favorite kind of fruit beer because it's not sour. It's got the ever so slightest bit of tartness that comes with organic kind of fruitiness, which is my favorite kind of tartness, and just lets that fruit portion of the show just really shine. It's a raspberry thing. I thought there was a little bit more to it. There's that currant in there, like I said. But the Thai basil, I don't really get that. But again, I don't care because it's absolutely delicious. Yeah. Thank you very much, Steven, for sending this off. This is absolutely fantastic. Let's cut to the chase. Is this one of the better fruit beers that I've had as of late? Yes, it is up there. It's Mount Rushmore status. That's how much I dig this beer. Value and availability, I don't know. It almost seems like this is the kind of beer that would come in a 6-pack for $12. If that's the case, then they can go fuck themselves because that's amazing. And leave you with, if you like, whoa, you like this beer. If you like those beers, if you like Belgian influence kind of fruit forward beers, you like those fruit beers from DCL and those breweries that really do hang their hat on that Belgian kind of tip when it comes to these kind of beers, you'll love it. Absolutely beautiful beer. Absolutely fantastic. Showcases most of the ingredients quite well. Again, that Thai basil doesn't really come off me, but it is delicious nonetheless. So if you like good, delicious fruit beer, you'd be very hard-pressed to find something markedly better than this one. So there you go. Another review in the books. Mystery beer style. Love mystery beers. If you do, too, send me some mystery beers. The only way you can do them. Matt Massa Beers, or Matt at massabeers.com or massabeers@gmail.com. You can write me there. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Massa Beers, type that in Google. Or Beer Massif. You can type that in for the whole podcasting thing. Thank you very much, Steven. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Belgian-influenced fruit beer right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.